Alright, guys, so greetings from the middle of nowhere at 7 a.m. Woke up, went to the bathroom, got a cup of OJ, and then I was going to go right back to bed just until my little gremlin wakes up. It's my dad's birthday today, so we're going to be celebrating that. But Insidious The Red Door, I saw it last night. Alright, I'll start with this. If you're not a big Insidious fan, which I'm really not, like the first movie's great. On the rewatch of it for the channel, early on when I covered the first movie, it went up a decent amount for me. Like, these movies are films that I can watch, I can enjoy them for what they are. I'm not a huge Insidious fan. Same with the Conjuring universe. I like the first two. I like Annabelle Creation. That's about it. You can keep the rest. Now, I just rewatched the chapter 2, like maybe a few weeks ago. I just rewatched the third and fourth one like 3 nights ago. So all of this was fresh in my head. Didn't need to be. I'll tell you that. Like, especially 3 and 4. Like, this is spoiler free. For the most part, this is a direct sequel. Well, it's totally a direct sequel to number 2. You don't really need to have seen 3 and the fourth one, The Last Key, which I don't care for. I like 3 by Leigh Whannell. I think he did a great job with that. The Last Key is like the down point for me here in this series. The acting, great performance by Wilson. And I've said I think he's a great actor, but I think he plays Patrick Wilson all the time. Like, he always plays Patrick Wilson. He doesn't have that big of an acting range. He impressed me with this. He really impressed me. Like, we have some stuff here, a lot of stuff going on. I love the whole dynamic between Josh and Dalton. So, spoiler-free synopsis. So, and yeah, these lights go on and off, so deal with it. Ambiance. The whole dynamic between the two of them is great in this. This is Ty Simpkins. It's the same kid who plays Dalton in the first 2 Insidious movies. They do some de-aging. It looked like it was pretty heavily looked like it was some type of de-aging effect on him in the very beginning. Because basically what the plot is we have Josh and Dalton. This is after the events of part 2, after they expel the woman out of Josh's body, the old lady with the wedding dress or whatever it is. And we have the guy, this is after Elise is killed, after Josh kills Elise. And who's the guy's name? Carl, with the stupid dice. That's his way of communicating with that's so stupid. We'll save that for Insidious 2. He's there, and he basically represses both of their memories, so that they don't remember anything in that whole year of Dalton's coma and Josh being possessed, trying to kill the family, and all of that gets repressed in their minds. So they don't remember any of it. Cool, fine. 9 years we skip by, or jump past. Yo, it's 7 a.m., shut up. And we end up 9 years later, Josh and Renee are divorced. They're not talking much. Josh is going through this whole funk for years. He's not really been a great father. In his defense, his son Dalton's kind of a dick. He's hitting that age. He's going off to college. He wants, to have his fun and live life his own way. He's an aspiring artist, so he doesn't really want anything to do with his dad. He doesn't remember any of the craziness that happened in the house with him trying to kill the family and stuff at the beginning of the movie here. Now, that's basically the premise. And then through some, hey, see, it's a haunted room. Or maybe it's the bats. Through some events that I consider dumb, we end up having those repressed memories coming back to Dalton and Josh, and then they have to try to figure out what happened in their past, which leads to them figuring out what to do now. It's enjoyable. Like, it was an enjoyable watch. Would I watch it again? No, not for a very long time. Does it need to exist? This is the most important thing. No, not really. This movie doesn't need to exist. I mean, like I said, I love the dynamic between Dalton and Josh. I think both of them gave great performances, and I said he impressed me with his range here, Patrick Wilson, and his directing was great. This is a very well directed film, so seeing Patrick Wilson directing this, he did a phenomenal job, especially while directing himself for a good portion of this too. The dynamic between him and Dalton was very well done, very well explored, and I actually enjoyed that the most out of anything in this movie. Like, aside from like, maybe one or two creepy scenes, I liked the first half of the movie more. Like, just exploring that whole relationship and that fallout between Dalton and Josh. And Renee, too. I mean, Burns is in it for 5 minutes, maybe, in this movie. 6 minutes. We do get a nice little cameo from Lin Shaye, the wonderful Lin Shaye, which, again, after every time I see her now, I really hope I can get her on the channel. Like, I talked to her, she's a sweetheart, but a whole nother story. But she's in there for 5 minutes or so, or less, like maybe 2 minutes, like a nice little cameo on a show. We see Leigh Whannell as Specs and the other dude as a cameo too. Why didn't they call them when all the paranormal shit starts happening again? Like, they've worked with them before. Why do it alone now? Why not just call up Specs? They're still in the business. Like, they have a show and stuff. I don't know. Like, that's some of the dumb stuff here. And the whole reason for Dalton's repressed memories coming out, dumb. It's dumb. They could have thought of something much better. Small spoilers if anyone saw it yet. Mostly just for that part. But the whole way that they have Dalton's memory come back. He goes to school, to college. The girl, Chris, the black girl who plays his roommate that they messed up, that they thought that he was a guy and roomed him with Dalton. She's good. She's good. She's funny. She's good comic relief. Gets a little annoying at times, but for the most part, she's a fine character. Their little dynamic is fun. So he goes to art class, and the teacher says, I want you to like dig deep into your memories and everything, and starts counting down from 10 to 1. And then he starts drawing the red door and everything, and gives the name of the title. Dumb! Like, this guy's never been in deep thought. For 9 years, he's never been in a very deep thought that can like unlock his subconscious. He's never had someone count down to him. He's never heard someone count down from 10 to 1 in 9 years. Like, that's what triggers it? I don't know. To me, stupid. So everything else that takes place after this is based on it starting from a point of stupidity. But once you get past it, like I said, it's an Insidious film. It's good at being an Insidious film. Is it a good Insidious film inside of the 5 movies here? Like, contained? Not really. Like, I put it maybe on par with The Last Key. Maybe a little bit better. Just because you have Patrick Wilson here, and you have Dalton, you have the brother. This is what I mean with legacy sequels. Like, this is an hour and 40-plus minute movie. They could have cut it easily to 90 minutes. Easily to 90 minutes. You have 2 scenes with Dalton calling his brother, who, fuck if I remember his name. I didn't even remember he had a brother. Until I watched this movie. He's hardly in the first 2 anyway. But this kid, he's grown up too. I don't forget if it's the same actor. He gets a call twice from Dalton. And the only reasons that these calls exist and scenes exist is to say, hey, remember me? I'm the brother. Like, I'm here. Like, that's the only reason that any of his scenes exists. The 2 phone calls. The same with Rose Burns. Same thing. I mean, she didn't even have to be here. Like I said, 5 minutes maybe. The only reason she's here is just to have her here. Like, the story didn't need her really. And that's the biggest issue I have with this movie, is the writing. The writing is not great. I mean, this is produced by James Blum, by James Wan, by Leigh Whannell, and some other guy. And if I recall correctly, the writer wrote for Halloween Kills and Firestarter, the remake from last year, which makes sense. That's all I'll say with that. Makes a lot of sense. But besides the writing being dodgy at times and the whole reason for him, Dalton, getting these repressed memories uncovered, and the lack of scares or even jump scares, this is pretty low on, which is rare for a James Wan film, which I'm fine with. The atmosphere was good at times. I just felt like it was missing something. A few things. I can't really pinpoint exactly what they are. Needed more scares, needed more of a plot here, instead of just an excuse to bring these main characters back. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's a well-made film. It's enjoyable for a one-time watch. For me, if you're a huge Insidious fan, you'll most likely enjoy this. Can I say how much? No, because everyone's favorite Insidious movie, changes and is different for everybody. So I think if you're a fan of the first 3 films, you might find this lackluster. If you're a fan of the whole series and you're just ape shit about Insidious and you're like, oh yes, new Insidious, you'll enjoy it. Like, I can pretty much guarantee that. It's an Insidious film. Where it goes and how it got there and all that is whatever. It's stupid. And that's Insidious The Red Door. It was a fun watch. I'll never watch it again. Unless I'm watching all 5 together for some reason. But I'll get into 2, 3, and 4 this coming week. Sorry I haven't had a lot out. As you guys know, I'm upstate with my daughter. Today's my father's birthday, which means we're all getting wrecked. So I'm going back to bed. I'll see you guys later. Take care, guys.